They say England is a land where ancient stone circles whisper secrets to rolling hills, and cobbled streets remember footsteps from centuries past. This is a place where myth, history, and nature intertwine into a rich tapestry of kings and queens, poets and rebels, and everyday folk who carved their stories into its soil. From the echoes of medieval cathedrals to the salt-kissed winds sweeping its coastlines, England is a living storybook, revealing a different world at every turn. But it's not just about the past. England pulses with vibrant cities, multicultural neighborhoods, and quiet villages where tales are still being written. It's these contrasts between old and new, wild and refined, grand and humble, that make England not just a place to visit, but an experience to feel and carry in your heart. Let's journey through the 10 best places to visit in England and see where the story leads us. London is where we begin, the beating heart of it all, but peel back the glossy postcards and what you find is a city of layers. Underneath the skyline of the Shard and the London Eye lies a Roman city, over 2,000 years old. Imagine wandering through the East End's alleyways where Jack the Ripper once lurked, or standing beneath Westminster Abbey's vaulted ceilings, where monarchs have been crowned since 1066. Beyond the grandeur, there's the hidden London, secret speakeasies, centuries-old pubs like Ye Old Cheshire Cheese, where Dickens himself once sat scribbling by candlelight. Did you know there's a Roman amphitheatre buried beneath the Guildhall? Few visitors ever see it, yet it speaks volumes of London's forgotten underworld. And even today, London holds surprises, from the annual Pearly Kings and Queens Parade, where costumed Londoners celebrate working-class traditions, to hidden gardens blooming atop abandoned railway lines. Take a twilight ride on the Thames Clippers for magical riverside views, discover the multicultural flavors of Borough Market, or wander the antique stalls of Portobello Road on a crisp Saturday morning. Don't miss the Whispering Gallery at St. Paul's Cathedral, or the historic treasures of the British Museum, where the Rosetta Stone and Egyptian mummies transport you through millennia. Next, let's head west to Bath, a city where time flows as gently as the Avon River. Bath is like stepping inside a Jane Austen novel. Elegant Georgian townhouses, sweeping crescents, and that honey-colored limestone glowing in the afternoon sun. Beneath its facade lies the steaming waters of the Roman baths, fed by a thermal spring flowing for over 10,000 years. Few know that Bath's sacred spring was once dedicated to the Celtic goddess Sulis, blending Roman and native beliefs into something uniquely British. Sip tea at the pump room, wander along the river, or watch the sun set behind Bath Abbey. It's easy to lose yourself in the romance of this ancient city. Visit the Royal Crescent Museum to glimpse 18th century life, stroll through Prior Park's landscaped gardens, or pamper yourself in the modern Therme Bath Spa, where you can soak in rooftop pools overlooking the city skyline. Every December, Bath's Christmas market transforms the city into a winter wonderland, with twinkling chalets, mulled wine, and local crafts filling historic squares. Northward, the landscape shifts to the Lake District, England at its most poetic. Wordsworth and Coleridge found their muse among these tranquil lakes and towering fells. Picture yourself on the shores of Derwentwater, mist clinging to the water as ancient oaks lean like silent sentinels. The Lake District is a place to feel, where you might stumble upon a hidden tarn, encounter a curious red squirrel, or follow Beatrix Potter's footsteps, who fought to preserve these landscapes. But here's something many overlook. The Lake District is also home to England's deepest lake, Wastewater, whose dark waters reflect the eerie beauty of the surrounding peaks. Legends whisper that a lost village lies beneath its depths, claimed by the lake centuries ago. Sail on Lake Windermere aboard a historic steamer, hike Scafell Pike, England's highest peak, or explore Grasmere, famous for its poet's grave and sweet gingerbread. For an extra treat, visit the Lake's Distillery to sample locally crafted whiskey, or ride the scenic Ravenglass and Eskdale narrow-gauge railway through hidden valleys. Further east, history takes center stage in York. Enclosed by medieval walls, York feels caught in time. The Gothic spires of York Minster dominate the skyline, while the crooked, timber-framed shops of the Shambles look straight out of a Harry Potter film. But beneath the charm lies a darker past. York was once a Viking stronghold, known as Jorvik. Its subterranean museum reveals the grit of daily life over 1,000 years ago. On a foggy night, locals say you might still hear echoes of ancient battles. And for the bravest visitors, join the nightly ghost walks. York is often dubbed the most haunted city in England. Climb Clifford's Tower for sweeping city views, explore the National Railway Museum, or time your trip for the annual Viking Festival, when the city's Norse heritage roars back to life with reenactments and torchlit parades. Walk along the medieval city walls for panoramic views, and don't miss a boat tour on the River Ouse to see York from a new perspective. Southward, Oxford offers a different kind of magic. Not fantasy, but the enchantment of learning and curiosity. Walk through the ivy-clad colleges and feel the weight of genius, from Tolkien to Hawking. But Oxford isn't stuck in its past. Alongside the Bodleian Library and dreaming spires are cozy bookshops, bustling cafes, and students punting on the River Cherwell, blending history with a youthful spirit of discovery. Few realize the city has its own quirky traditions, like the May morning celebration, when choirs serenade the city from Magdalen Tower as the sun rises. And tucked away in the Pitt Rivers Museum is a peculiar collection of shrunken heads and other oddities. Step into Christ Church College, whose dining hall inspired Hogwarts, or visit the Ashmolean Museum, home to treasures from Egyptian mummies to Renaissance masterpieces. Stroll down Radcliffe Square at dusk, when golden light warms the honey-coloured stone, or enjoy an ale at the Turf Tavern, a historic pub that has welcomed scholars and storytellers for centuries. The Cotswolds soften England into postcard-perfect villages and meadows. Every stone cottage and hedgerow feels from a bygone era. Few realize the Cotswolds was once the heart of England's wool trade, its wealth built on grazing sheep. Today, it's a place to slow down, sip local cider, and follow ancient trails through lavender fields and storybook hamlets like Byberry and Castle Combe. If you visit in spring, the villages glow with golden daffodils, a hidden spectacle that feels like wandering into a fairy tale. And in summer, don't miss the eccentric cheese rolling festival at Cooper's Hill, a tradition where daredevils chase a runaway cheese down a perilous slope, embodying England's knack for blending charm with a touch of madness. Explore Sudeley Castle, which once hosted queens, or roam the perfectly manicured gardens of Hidcote Manor. Antique lovers will find treasures in Stow-on-the-Wold shops, while Broadway Tower offers sweeping countryside views and a glimpse into an artist's retreat once frequented by William Morris. To the rugged cliffs of Cornwall, where England meets the raw Atlantic. It's a land of shipwrecks and King Arthur legends. Stand atop Tintagel Castle above the roaring sea, and you can almost hear swords clash and knights whisper. But Cornwall isn't just myth. Its turquoise coves like Kynance Cove and St Ives Bay look almost Caribbean on sunny days, while its fishing villages serve up fresh seafood. Ever tried stargazy pie? The Cornish culinary traditions are as colourful as their folklore. Visit the Eden Project's futuristic biomes, explore the subtropical gardens of Treba, or watch a play at the open-air Minack Theatre, carved dramatically into a cliff above the sea. Surf the Atlantic waves at Newquay, sample Cornish cream tea in tiny cafes, or follow the southwest coast path, where each bend reveals another hidden cove. Along the Jurassic coast, time is etched into every cliff. This UNESCO World Heritage Site reveals 185 million years of Earth's history in fossil-studded beaches and limestone arches. Durdle Door and Lulworth Cove are not just scenic wonders, they're windows into prehistoric worlds. Fancy yourself an amateur paleontologist? You might just find a fossil of a creature from before humans ever walked these shores. And there's local legend too. Some say the ancient stones of the coast are imbued with healing powers, attracting spiritual seekers from around the world. Discover the quaint town of Lyme Regis, famous for fossil hunting and its historic Cobb Harbour. Walk the dramatic Golden Cap, the highest point on England's south coast, or explore Abbotsbury's Swanery, where hundreds of swans glide gracefully in a serene lagoon. Visit in spring when wildflowers blanket the cliffs, turning them into a natural tapestry. To the brooding landscapes of Northumberland, where Hadrian's Wall cuts across rugged moorlands, marking the Roman Empire's edge. There's a wild beauty here, from castles like Alnwick and Bamburgh to star-filled skies. Northumberland has some of Europe's darkest skies, and on clear nights, the Milky Way spills across the heavens, a breathtaking display few places rival. But did you know that tucked away in these lonely hills are England's last strongholds of red squirrels, battling for survival against their grey cousins? Northumberland is where the wild things still have a voice. Wander the atmospheric ruins of Dunstanburgh Castle, cross the causeway to Holy Island at low tide, or visit Cragside, the world's first house lit by hydroelectric power. Walk the Simonside Hills, wrapped in ancient legends of elves and spirits, or relax on unspoiled beaches where seals bask undisturbed. Finally, the enchanting city of Cambridge, often seen as Oxford's quieter cousin. Cambridge charms with riverside colleges, punting boats gliding under stone bridges, and choral hymns drifting from King's College Chapel. But there's playfulness too. DNA's double helix was modelled in a local pub, and Wonderland found its muse here. Cambridge invites you to wander, to wonder, and to lose yourself in its rhythm of bicycles, bookshops, and stories of scholars who changed the world. Discover the treasures of the Fitzwilliam Museum, or find serenity in the Cambridge University Botanic Garden, where glasshouses shelter exotic plants. Join an open-air Shakespeare performance in summer, or sip afternoon tea by the River Cam as students glide by, laughter echoing between ancient stone walls. And if you're lucky, catch the college choirs practicing at dusk, when centuries of tradition resonate in hauntingly beautiful harmony. As we reach the end of our journey, you can see how each of these places, from bustling streets of London to the wild solitude of Northumberland's moors, shares a common thread. They tell the story of England's complexity, its past and present, its triumphs and quirks. No matter where you find yourself, there's something uniquely British waiting for you around the corner. It's a place of contrasts, of beauty, and most of all, of stories that never truly end. If you've enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe to WanderSphere for more adventures. Whether it's England's hidden gems or the breathtaking beauty of a distant land, we're always here to guide you to your next escape. Where will we take you next? Let's find out together.